Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Nick from the 4554 podcast, and you're tuned in to Merch in a Minute. So, let me just go ahead and tell everybody right now, this episode of Merch in a Minute is not going to be 60 seconds. It's going to be a little bit longer, and I know that the last time I did that, it was a little tense because I was a little upset. That's not the case this time. This is actually more introspective than anything. And I want to talk about the growing pains that come along with merch by Amazon, and more specifically to the title, is Amazon making merch grow up. Now, I'm not calling anybody, just say it ahead of time, I'm not calling anybody who's selling on merch immature. I'm not saying that you're childlike or anything. I'm not talking about the sellers completely. I'm talking about the format and the platform overall. And what it's really coming down to is, if you've noticed, like I've noticed, there's a pattern to what Amazon's been doing the last few months. We can talk about how they changed the application process. You know, they do want people with more of a graphics background. I know some people who actually have a graphics background that were still denied. They do have, more systems where they're talking about taking on AMS as an option that they can man. As opposed to us doing it. They've even gone as far as cutting off AMS to people who weren't set up already. Even with the more recent update, and you're looking at the Q&A, and they're talking about how promoting it as an outside listing. I don't think that that's something new, because anyone who went to Chris Green and Ken Reel's conference in Seattle last year, you may have heard, if you didn't go, you probably heard them talking about it or saw them talking about it in the groups, how they are pushing for more sellers to pull outside traffic in. That's just smart business. That's just smart business. Think about if you were Amazon. Okay, I've got this platform. I've got millions upon millions of customers coming every day. I'm going to extend to you 10 ASINs, and all you have to do is put up a design that does not violate IP. Sounds too good to be true. Most business models wouldn't necessarily do that, but the print-on-demand business model is a little bit different. With that being said, the trade-off is, here you come as a seller. Now you come in, you've got designers doing your shirts, you've got VAs uploading it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because I think there still has to be a mastermind. Like, I think someone like RJ Martinez, he is a mastermind of that, where it's like he can direct everyone where to go. He goes in, he does the research, he says, listen, this is the type of shirt I want. I want 30 to 50 kind of shirts like this. Go to his VA. This is what I'm trying to convey. Like, he's a master at it, and it shows by the money that he makes. It shows by the sales that he gets. And so I'm not knocking what that is, but that's not everybody. So Amazon's looking at it like, okay, well, where you do have someone like an RJ who is running this like a business, you have other people who are trying to replicate that model and not necessarily running it like a business. And at the end of the day, when you look at Amazon's other platforms for third-party sellers, FBA, CreateSpace, different things like that, they are in position where essentially you have some people who aren't probably the best business people on earth, but you got to have some business sense to make that platform go and to keep it moving. I think Amazon's the same place with merch, and it's just making merch grow up. I don't think that's a bad thing. I do think there are going to be some people that fall off, and that's fine. I do think there are going to be some people that say, I'll scale back on it and I'll work on some other stuff. And that's fine. But for the people that stick with it and that stay with it, those are going to be the ones that reap the benefits of it. And Amazon is still less than 3 years old. Like, in terms of merch, it's still less than 3 years old. It's going to grow. It's going to have some growing pains. That's what any successful business has. And I would place my faith in someone like Amazon who has a proven model of success, especially when it comes to changing the lives of those third-party sellers. Everybody doesn't necessarily come off, and come out, I guess I should say, as successful as another person, but there's still a level of success. I mean, it's still a situation where you have access to their traffic, access to their Prime members, access to their free shipping. What more could you ask for? Now, people would say, oh, well, if they're expecting me to promote the listings, then why don't I take it somewhere like Teespring? Okay. I agree. You should definitely take it to Teespring. You should definitely take it to Redbubble. You should definitely take it to TeePublic. And that's what most people have been pushing for the longest. You should not have all of your eggs in one basket. You should be on other platforms. You should promote on those other platforms. I agree. They have a better profit margin on Teespring than they do on Amazon in terms of merch. But what I will say is, even with the throttling, I would take the organic traffic of Amazon flat in the middle of throttling than I would the best day on Teespring. And I've had some days where my Teespring account has outsold my merch account. I really have. But in terms of consistency, I'll take Amazon every day. But the point is, you should take Amazon and Teespring and Etsy and Redbubble and eBay and Designed by Humans and Society 6. All of these print-on-demand platforms are out there, and they're out there for a reason. And they all have their own unique thing that makes them stand out just a little bit. That's what you should take out of this. You're not in the merch business, you're in the print-on-demand business. And I don't know how many times I can say that, but now it seems like Amazon is pushing merch and merch sellers to realize that. Because here's the thing, the trial and error that you can get in those other places and the sales along the way, yeah, they kind of better prepare you for what's happening on merch. I have a brand, and I'll wrap this up, but I have a brand that I was pushing on Teespring to almost no success for a year. I put it on Amazon. I was able to test some things, see what shirts were working, see what shirts weren't. I revamped that brand on Teespring, and now it sells consistently on Teespring. Use the platform for what it's worth. That's probably one of the best test markets out there. But you eventually want to branch out into other platforms and eventually branch out into your own platform. That should be the point of it. And at that point, you're not just someone dragging along with merch. You're someone who's actually going back to merch and saying, okay, let me apply these principles here. And now, not only do I have a great print-on-demand business, I've got a great merch account that goes right along with it, and I've got the perfect testing ground. And so now I don't have to worry, oh man, I put it on Teespring, is it just a bad design? No, maybe the way that you're positioning it is just wrong or needs to be improved. So it's a win-win for everybody. I don't want to go into a big, long tirade. I've already been on long enough, but that's going to wrap it up, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.